Presents, you are once again welcome to my channel, Dr. Flamingo LL Lawson. Today we want to look at the concept of quadratic equations. We're going to look at quadratic equations. Now, I think this quadratic equation has been a national canker. Most students struggle with this from GHS level right through senior high and even to the university. Most of them can only solve quadratic equation using a calculator. Now, what is the secret behind quadratic equation? Okay, so I would like you to join me as we start quadratic equation. Let's see how we will understand quadratic equation within just 60 seconds. 60 seconds. That is the challenge. Let's go. Okay, let's look at the solutions to these questions, right? Let's start with the first one. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Good. Now, the coefficient here is 1. So, look at what I do. I multiply the numbers at the edges. Good, as you can see. So, you see, I have 1 in the circle there, that is 6. Good. It means I have to look for the factors of 6. Now, when we say factors, the numbers that can go into 6 without leaving a remainder, that is a factor. So out of these numbers, right, pick 2 numbers that you multiply and get the one which have been circled here. That same 2 numbers that you picked, make sure you add them to get this middle term here, plus 5x. And why do we do that? All quadratic equations are in 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. You cannot group, so you have to make assumption on this middle term to make it 4 term so that you can group. That is why we do this assumption. Good. So let's see. 2 times 3 will give me 6. 2 plus 3 will give me 5. Wow, I think the factors are working. So the factors to be used here, 2x and 3x. So when you multiply them and get 6, make sure you add them the same way to get this middle term. The factors are working. Please, if the factors are not working, don't check them in. Something is not working, you are just trying to put it in. It's not going to work. Make sure they work before you put them in. Good. So why do I add a variable x to the factors? They are going to replace this middle term with an x. That is why. So this middle term is 5x. It goes off. Now the positive sign belongs to this 5. As you can see, it's off. Now let's go. So whatever I'm doing is equal to this. I have x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. That is all. The quadratic is over. Do you know that when you put 2x plus 3x together, you produce 5x? Yes. That makes our assumption correct. Now we have a 4-term quadratic. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can group them. We can pair them together. Good. So the plus 5 that I clean, that is it. So it's true. 2x plus 3x produces 5x. So I group, method of grouping. Now I factor x out. There is x here, there is x. I factor 1x out. Now x goes into x squared. That is what we mean. You get a single x. That is it. X goes into 2x. You get 2. Now there is plus 3 out. 3 goes into 3x. You produce an x. 3 going to 6. You produce 2. Good. Now what do we see here? This and this are the same. You just have to factor 1. Then you put those outside together. Put them together. Also in one chamber. That is the end. Good. So it stretches from here down to where I tested my factors. And remember, when you are testing the factors and the factors are not compatible, please don't check them in. That has been the problem with most students. So before you make sure you are fine, just make sure all these factors are correct and in order. Just put them in and the answer will come. So that is solution number 1. Now let's move there to solution number 2. Good. I have 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. Still in the usual way. I multiply the numbers at the edges. I get negative 15 here. Good. So, I will look for the factors of negative 15, not 5. Please take note. Factors of negative 15, not 5. Negative 15. So I have plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5, and plus or minus 15 itself. Please, why do I call something plus or minus? It means, since it's negative, it can be plus or minus. Because negative 1 can go into negative 15. Positive 1 can also go into positive 15. Now, negative 3 can go into negative 15. Positive 3 can also go there. That is why it is plus or minus. Good. Now, let's test the factors. So, I can have something like minus 2. No, I think, okay, we're looking for 15, right? Good. So, we can have 3 by, or minus 3 times 5. I get minus 15. Wow, it's as if the factors are working, right? Now, let's see. Minus 3 plus 5, I get positive 2. It's not working. I'm supposed to multiply them and get the one in this circle and add them and get the middle term. But I'm getting positive 2. These factors are not good. Good. I'll try another one again here. Okay, if it is quite close, let me interchange the negatives. So minus 5 times 3 rather, that's minus 15. In fact, the first preamble always seems to be working. Now let's add them the same way to see whether we could use the middle term. Good. We are there. So it means I'm going to use minus 5x and 3x. These are my factors to be used. Once the factors are working, you are free. Once the factors are working, you are free. So let's check them in. So whatever I'm doing is equal to what I'm doing here. 3x squared, it can be minus 5x.